All right, everybody. Time for another round of Module 2 Notes Extra Practice. We're going to do another problem-solving activity today. Again, I'll get you partway through, and then I'm going to ask you to finish it on your own. This one is not in the Learn book. This is from the homework, so there won't be a copy of it in your book at home, but I will attach a copy to your assignment. Okay? But I'm still going to ask you to write out some information. Let's begin. For this activity, there are 90 fifth grade students. We'll go ahead and put 90 students going on a field trip. There are 90 students going on a field trip. It's been a while since we've been on a field trip. Going on a field trip. Each student pays $9.25 to cover admission. So how much it costs to get in? $9.25 to cover admission and lunch. So each student pays $9.25. That's going to get them into the theater that they're going to for this field trip, and it's going to pay for their lunch. Admission for all students. Admission for all students costs $3, that'd be nice. $315. So that's just admission, just to get into the theater will be $315. If each student gets an equal amount for lunch, how much will each get? Now, the problem tells us how much it will cost for admission into the theater. The students are going on a field trip. They're going to see a show. $315 for 90 students to go on a field trip. Now, $9.25 is what the students are paying for their portion of this and lunch. We've got a couple ways we can do this. Probably the easiest way is going to look at the $315 and say, if this is admission for everybody, and there's 90 students, then we need to split this up into 90 equal parts, 90 equal tickets. And when we are splitting things up, we are using division. 315 divided by 90. Now, if we divide 315 divided by 90, this should tell us the ticket price per student. Ticket price per student. Okay. Now, we know each student paid $9.25, but only part of that is the ticket price. So if we divide this out, we'll get that ticket price, and then we can move on from there. So I'll set up my division. Again, you can do it on your notes. If you have some graph paper, you know how much I love graph paper. But we'll go ahead, 315, just be very careful, write it very neatly so it can be lined up. 315 divided between 90 students. $315 divided into 90 tickets, if you want to think about it that way. Now, 3 divided by 90 is not going to work. 31 won't work either. Think of this as $300 bills. Okay, if I have $300 bills, I can't split that with 90 students. If I have 31 $10 bills, can't do that either. So I'm going to have to go all the way down to the 315. I don't know how many times 90 goes to the 315. I can guess, so I'll guess, and I'll have to check. Now I'm looking at this and thinking 90 is pretty close to 100. This is 300. So it's probably 3 or 4. Let's try 4. Okay. 4 times 0 is 0. 4 times 9 is 36. Yeah, that's too much. Okay, I said 3 or 4, so let's try 3. 3 times 0 is 0. 3 times 9 is 27. Yeah, that should do it. It looks a little low, but I mean, I know 4 didn't work. I tried it already. So 3 times 90, 270. 5 minus 0 is 5. 1 minus 7 won't work unless I borrow, so I will. 11 minus 7 is 4. Okay. Now, I know sometimes it can be tricky to know when do we just leave the remainder 45, when do we go into decimals. For this particular problem, I'm looking for a ticket price. I'm trying to find out how much each ticket costs per student. Okay. Well, I don't go to the store and pay with remainders. I pay with dollars and cents. Cents means we are going to be working with decimals. So I add my invisible decimal and an invisible 0. Invisible no longer. I'm going to quickly bring the decimal up before I forget. Now, drop down the 0 here. 450 divided by 90. 450 tenths, basically, divided by 90, which, if I cover up the zeros, 45 divided by 9 is something that I am familiar with. 90 times 5. Oop, there's the bell. Sorry, everybody. 5 times 0 is 0. 5 times 9, 45. Okay. So, 5. 90 will go into 450 5 times. 5 times 90 is 450. 0, 0, 0, so I'm done. Okay. So the ticket price per student, now I'm not going to just say 3.5. I don't usually talk about money that way. The ticket price per student, 3.5, that doesn't look right. $3.5 looks a little better, but we write dollars out 2 decimal places. So $3.50 per ticket. $3.50 per ticket, which is pretty reasonable. Okay. Now, it would be nice if that were the end of our problem, but it's not. It's not. This just tells us the ticket price per student, but the question asks, if each student gets an equal amount for lunch, how much will each get? Okay. Well, we figured out what each student is paying for their ticket. We also know what they paid originally to get in, well, to go on the trip. So if I have $9.25 is what they paid to their teacher to go on this trip, and only $3.50 is their ticket cost, then if I could subtract that out, that should tell us how much they have for lunch. How much for lunch? Okay. I am going to let you finish this up. Go ahead and subtract these two. When you get your answer, put it in the comment for your assignment, put it in the comment for your activity. This problem, fairly straightforward. Again, there are a couple of ways to approach it. Originally, I was going to multiply 90 times 925, subtract out the 315 for the tickets, and then whatever was left, divide that by 90 to figure out, that's kind of a lot of multiplication and division. Would have worked. Would have worked just fine. There are almost always multiple ways to solve a word problem. So take your time, read it carefully, try to imagine what's happening, try to put yourself in that position. How would you figure this out if this was something that was really happening to you? All right. We'll go ahead and stop for now. Again, please do this subtraction, get your answer, and then include that with your homework. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. If you have any questions, please bring them to class. I'll see you next time.